So Scott has got his stuff, his reviews. He's got a penis, and he's ready to go. He says,
"I'm ready. I'm ready. Are we going?"
We're in your home, we're in your head. Lock the doors and close the blinds. Turn on your TV, turn up your mind.
and cue.
Steven, when you dance like that, it looks like you're just covering yourself with semen. I just want you to know that.
Maybe I was covering myself
Maybe
with
you
semen.
were. Maybe you were.
There's nothing wrong with covering yourself in semen. If anyone wants to cover themselves in semen, they have every right to.
I'd say, or guys, I promise I'm not sexist. I'd say pussy juice, but I know that when a girl squirts, it's mostly pee. So I'm like, well, I don't want to say pee.
I mean, squirting could be kind of hot.
It'd be kind of hot. They're just pissing, dude.
I mean, that's what
They're
people
pissing
say,
all over
but I
you.
don't feel like it's the same.
Well, so it's mostly piss. It's some
I get that.
like it's like 98% piss, and then it's some juices that maybe you'll like.
I've never experienced it myself, so I just can't say that I don't like
Typical. All right, well, welcome back, guys, to another wonderful edition of Soul of a Gamer. I'm Scott.
Porn, I think.
I'm Scott.
Steven.
And every week we come at you with a game that we play, and we tell you about it.
Yeah.
We hope you enjoyed last week's game, which was
Journey, Scott's favorite.
Yeah, and that game was shit. Like, guys, seriously, like, sometimes I'm like, I understand passion projects where someone's like, I'm really into this. I like doing this for me, and then release it for sale on something, and you're like, what the fuck did you make? Like, why? Just put it on GitHub so everyone can enjoy it if you like it that much and it's not that good. Jesus, guys.
I mean, there was some cinematic kind of beauty to some of it, but
it was a pretty game, but you know, that game was just the most boring shit in the world.
It was.
But this week we have a much more exciting game
and much more aggravating game sometimes.
Well, I would say not aggravating at all. I just say exciting. What is it, Steven?
Ori and the Will of the Wisp.
Yeah, we're doing a sequel.
Woohoo!
We gotta get a sequel button, dude. You know, it's sequel time. Like, it's a fun sequel thing. I'll think about making one.
Okay.
I'll think about what it could be.
Okay.
So yeah, so as you remember, we did play the first Ori in the Blind Forest, and I re-listened to the episode to see where we were at on that, and it was not great. I did not like it at all. Like, I really fucking hated that game.
I think we both said it was beautiful, but we didn't like it.
No, the soundtrack was good because it was well orchestrated, because that's what they kept fucking bragging about. Their dicks were hard for the fucking orchestra. But I gave it a nod, and you gave it a Worf. So we're going to see how this one turns out. So let's get right into this with our first segment.
What's on the box?
So, Steven, what is on the box? I don't have it in front of me.
That's true. So I don't actually have the box guide. I just have the Steam store.
There are boxes, guys. Yes. I did see like a Switch box and everything, but I'm sure they say the fucking same shit as the fucking Steam store says.
So play the critically acclaimed masterpiece. Embark on a new journey in a vast, exotic world where you will encounter towering enemies and challenging puzzles on your quest to unravel Ori's destiny.
Okay, well, that's really simple.
Yeah.
Not a lot of substance, is it?
Not a lot to that synopsis. No.
Like, you almost expect there to be like challenge this epic pseudo platformer slash third or I don't like third person like fighter.
It's like side scrolling 2D 3D action platformer.
Yeah. Like it is. It would be nice to have a little bit like explore this action platformer where you'll fight enemies, where you'll jump on shit, you use cool powers to do some cool shit.
You'll fight a giant spider. You'll wake a sleeping bear.
That's true. Well, I mean, those are actually cool because they actually put fucking bosses in this. Like that was, that's a plus at any given point
for sure.
But yeah, so that was the box. That was lame. I'll give it a 1 out of 0 or 0 out of.
Box
20?
art is beautiful from what I've seen of the box arts.
Okay, well that's good. Well, the description's shit, so fuck it.
Yeah, pretty much. All right, and
Steven, by the way, I'm gonna be turning off my camera again. It looks like because it keeps like shifting again. But
yeah, I saw it flicker a little bit. But
if it flickers too much, I'll turn it off. Don't you worry.
Sounds good. Fun stuff for the viewers to hear.
The viewers get to hear about my camera
And
issues.
by viewers, I mean listeners, because I don't know why.
By listeners, viewers are the same thing.
All right, let's go to the next one.
Are we jamming?
So, are we jamming?
I would say yes. You know, this game, again, they did the same thing. They pulled in a very good orchestra.
Yeah.
The music was really nice, like going around. You know, they still had that fucking shit job of the Hut voice with a made up bullshit language where they're.
Yeah.
You're like, just fucking, again, I appreciate the diving in and doing certain things in certain games, right? Like, I always like it, kind of. But in this game, I just don't. I don't like it. I think it's stupid because there's only one fucking person talking, and there's no point not redubbing it over English. I don't know if it's Japanese or something, or if they really did make up their own bullshit language. But they need to just fucking redub it in English. Fuck that shit.
I get like a lot of people are trying to like do some like world building, but like there's no reason why we can't hear it in our language.
So the world building will work in certain cases. Like, you know,
Yeah.
I've said before, Knights of the Old Republic, they have a bunch of different races speaking a bunch of different languages that all come from a bunch of different fucking planets. It shows that there's like a disconnect between them where they all understand each other. Like, it's just, that's interesting because you have a bunch of different languages coming out and it serves a purpose in the world and the world building. This one, it's just to be a fucking dick. Like, really, that's all this is for.
I do think that a lot of times with these games, if they did have like English text or dialogue for this, it just would be easier to follow. Like I don't always want to have to read every time I watch anything, and I know that's gonna sound super culturally insensitive sometimes. Yeah. But
you know, I'm okay with reading it. What I'm not okay with is them releasing a game that's not in a language that someone who can understand that probably has dyslexia and can't fucking read because the text is way too fast on the fucking screen for them to read it. Like, what the fuck do they expect those people to do?
Yeah.
They don't get the story building without that fucking text. Like, that's really shitty, in my opinion.
Especially because the text does go by decently quick on some occasions.
It does. I don't know, but it's also worthless because the story building in the game is not that great with the text anyway. Like you could take all of that out and just have the cinematics, and the cinematics built the story better than the fucking overarching text did.
Yeah, honestly, the cinematics are kind of where I wish Journey would have taken some of it, where they really tell the story without any dialogue. Like you don't need any dialogue in this game at all to get the entire story, and it's actually really
you'll
cool.
start. I mean, this game, there's a part in here where you're like literally in tears because it's so fucking sad. Like, it's crazy how good the fucking cinematics are sometimes.
Yes.
But music-wise, I would say this game does a great job. I loved all the somber music. I love the happy music. I love the playful music. They did a really good job in telling the story through their music.
Yeah, and I love how when you go through the areas, which you can get to go through some of the areas pretty quickly, how like the dynamic of the music completely changes in every area.
For sure. And there's no like, I'm trying to remember. No, there wasn't. So this is not like one of those games where we've talked about them before where the music resets and you can hear the reset happening and you're just like, what the fuck, guys?
I don't want to hear the same song over and over.
Yeah. And not just that. It's like there's a blind spot or a dead spot in between it resetting and restarting. And this is not one of those games that has that. So
it's true.
You can appreciate that about the game.
Yeah, there's never any like dull moments with the audio where you just like in complete silence.
Yeah, true. All right, well, yeah, that's music. Anything else you want to add?
Not really. Like we said, there's not really any dialogue to this. The dialogue isn't super important. They actually tell the story well enough without it. So yeah, that's pretty much everything.
All right, let's go on.
How does it play?
Cute.
Cued. I have been successfully cued.
Yes.
So this game, are we on how does it play, right?
Yeah. Sorry.
Okay, so how does it play? This game actually I thought played way better than the fucking first one.
I agree.
My movement wasn't as stifled. I didn't have trouble with the same platforming issues I had before. The checkpoints were better. If you died, you didn't go back to a weird save state. Because I don't know if you remember about the first game,
Yeah.
but you had to use energy to fucking save.
Yes.
And like that was the most obnoxious shit in the fucking world.
Yeah.
And in this game, they were like, "Yeah, we're not gonna torture you guys anymore.
We're gonna put save points everywhere on the map, and then give you the ability to teleport to them at any time.
Yeah, and also they put a checkpoint on this, so like
Yes.
you get actual checkpoints when you're doing like missions and shit, which is important because they didn't have that in the first game, or if they did, it was very seldom.
Yeah, and there's only a few times in the game, really mainly late in the game, where some of the checkpoints were annoying because of like the section
Yeah.
you had to redo. But
For sure. I mean, this game did it again where I hate this. I hate this. I hate this. I hate this. I hate it when games do this. Indiana Jones
oh,
moments.
seriously, yeah.
Put fucking 1 and stop there. Why have 20? Why?
Yeah.
Oh, it was so annoying. The water one was fucking stupid because it was just a repeat of the first one.
Yep.
The one where you're running from the fucking creatures. I mean, they're exhilarating and they're exciting, but it's just not fun for me to be running away from something that you're eventually just going to fucking fight. What's the difference when you're going to fight it and when you're running away from it? Why are you suddenly able to fight it? Like,
Yeah.
I don't understand.
There's seriously only one game so far that has gotten that like pure octane, pure running the entire time done well in a game, and that was Rayman Legends. Those musical.
Yeah, because that one was
So
actually
it's-
fun. It was
yeah.
fun to do, especially the first one. The first
Yeah.
one was great. But yeah, I just hated the fact that, I don't like that in games where you have to run away from something and then you turn around and start fighting it when you get to a specific area. That's just fucking stupid.
It's like
Just turn around and fight it to start with.
Yeah, it is ridiculous, and those chase sequences are honestly some of the hardest ones, and some of the most unforgiving parts of the game by far.
Yeah, for sure. But they do have more checkpoints on them this time than they did the first one.
True,
But I mean, it still doesn't help that much. It
but
still
you
didn't
have
make
to
me
get
want to do them.
everything perfect in those.
Yeah.
You don't have a lot of room for error, or you're going to redo it over and over and over and over again, which is just going to be frustrating.
Yeah, super frustrating. Powers in this game were way more helpful.
Yes,
I found it like way better to use the powers in this. I didn't feel like I was wasting my time like collecting them or anything.
Well, and you get a lot of them too, and you can have
Yeah.
like 8 different shards, so you can
Yep.
really customize your. There's a lot of like theory crafting and building your character, like more RPG kind of elements to this time.
Yeah, for sure. And it's really cool that they added all this shit in the game. Like, the upgrade system, they improved so much. Like,
Yes.
it's so much better than the first one. I felt like I was doing such a better job collecting shit than I did in the first one.
That, and you can just grind for all the upgrades and stuff too. which
Yeah,
is
and like
great.
they did the thing that I want every fucking game to do, They did like, and we've mentioned this so many times on Prototype, on what other Spyro, I believe, was one of them. They put it to where you can map out the things you're looking for, so you can go
Yes.
to the guy and you can buy where all the life cells are,
Yep.
or you can buy where all the experience cells are, or you could buy where all the mana cells are. Like, that is an important thing that every game should fucking do,
Yeah.
because nobody
wanna buy
wants
a
to
map?
fucking.
Yes.
Yeah, like, yes, thank you. That's exactly. I don't want to fucking search around forever because I'm missing one fucking thing.
Yeah. No. Hard agree.
Yeah, I really enjoyed that about the game. The upgrade system fucking killed it.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know a lot of games that do this where the second game is just monstrously better than the first one, but man, is this game monstrously better than the first one. Like,
Yeah. I mean,
this is
true.
the only one I can think of right now where, not only is it a little better, it's just completely fucking better.
I have to agree with that. Yeah, not a lot of games even get that kind of worthiness, which it's hard and even more nowadays to even find franchises that are like killing it all the way through. So
This game does do one thing that I really don't like that games do. At the end of the game, they don't allow for exploration.
yeah,
So, like, you can't. So, a lot of games do this thing where they, like, you could beat the game
and
then go back in and get everything you wanted to get. Like, Prototype did that, and that was a really good idea for them.
Yes.
That way you can just get the story through and through and do everything you want to do after.
which you should always
Uh,
be able to do. Like, don't make
yeah.
completionists go through the game again and go slower through it to be able
Or,
to
like,
get all the upgrades.
Do multiple save states so you can load a certain one or something like this. It's just stupid.
Yeah.
I don't like that way of playing, and especially if you don't know that's coming up. Like,
Yeah, like
I
give a
don't know.
warning for it right before the last boss if you're gonna do that. Like, hey, save
Yeah.
on another file because you can't come back after you beat the game.
Yeah, and then some Mass Effect did a great job at that. In Mass Effect 2,
Hmm.
I think even in Mass Effect 1, it'll say like, "Hey, are you sure you want to start the last mission? The last mission is the end of the game."
Yeah.
Like, and that's just such a good idea for any game to have in there.
Oh yeah.
Just so we know if I wanted to go back and look for all the fucking orange shit, I could have. I didn't want to go back, but if I did,
True.
I could have.
True.
Bosses in this game are way more dynamic than the first game.
Yeah. Some of them were super easy. Some of them were kind of frustrating.
Yeah, but they were like they changed up their battle styles like as you got closer
Yeah.
and closer to the end of their health, which is something they
Some
didn't
of
do
them
in the
had
fucking
multiple
first game.
phases. Like the last one had 3 phases.
Yeah. They did do that thing we didn't like from the first one though. There was a bird that flew around that could kill you in like a quarter of a second if you were seen
Yeah.
by it. But it gave you more time to get into cover than the first one did. Like if you get out of cover for less than a second in the first one, you die.
Yeah.
You
it
get
was
out a
definitely-
second in this one, you have 5 seconds to get back into cover.
Definitely easier, but still just annoying and frustrating, and you just hate those
Yeah.
sections of the game.
And you don't understand because you fought that same fucking bird later and were able to like not die instantly from it hitting you. So it just doesn't make any fucking sense.
Yeah. Well, I have a lot of fucking quirks with this bird that I want to get over into in the story. Fucking hate this
Alright.
bird.
I'm trying to remember. Is anyone else? Anything else we have in gameplay?
Oh, we have the I guess the little bit of the building kind of stuff of helping build the town.
Yeah,
we
they
didn't
did
have.
add. They added a kind of like a zoo tycoon or roller coaster tycoon type of thing where you can build shit so you can make the townspeople happy, so you can get more missions, so you can complete more missions and get basically nothing. I feel like.
Yeah, I mean there wasn't very many of them. Those stones to get that each building made were far and few between, so it'd
Yeah.
take a while to get them all.
And some of them you got through questing. Like I did all of them
Yeah.
except for the last one.
I think I did all but 2.
Yeah, the last one's just decorations, it sounded like. But I'm sure
Yeah.
like you get something cool if you do all of them.
I think you get an
Like, maybe you-
achievement for sure, but I
You
don't
get the
know what you get in
achievement for
game.
sure, but I wonder if you get like the last because I don't know if I found even all the powers,
Yeah, I didn't either.
all the badges or whatever. So I wonder if the last one you get through getting all those upgrades and it's fucking like
Supersonic.
7 times damage.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
I know there's
But I mean,
crazy achievements in this game.
yeah, I mean, it was fun. Like I love the traversing the map on this one a lot better than the first one for sure.
It was a lot easier, especially with just the fast travel anytime, anywhere at no cost.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, seriously.
fucking amazing.
The fact is, I'm not joking when I say like the first game you had to fucking use energy to save, and energy was really hard to get.
Energy's easy in this one, and you get a
Yeah,
shit
and-
ton of it.
Yeah, like you get so much you don't even go. Like I loved getting that light power because I love going against the bosses and just having a non-stop circle of damage on them.
See, I didn't do that
Like-
very often. You primarily use
so
the
good.
spike, because the spike's the highest damaging thing in the game. Especially when you
I
get
didn't even give a shit about the spike.
Oh, I loved it.
The DPS damage you get from everything else is better.
It's fair enough.
That's pretty much how does it play. So
Yeah.
let's go on to
It's story time. Let's get started.
So yes, we are in the story section of the game, and story. This story we'll get into a little bit later in this, but the story never fucking ends.
yes and no. Like you almost hate the beginning of this.
Yes,
Like
I hate.
I don't know.
The first good portion of the first part of this.
yeah, because it's a slow crawl up to get like where you want to be. This is one of those slow crawl games where you just suck in the beginning, and by mid game you're like ultra powerful, but fucking beginning game sucks.
Well, and it sucks too because like you get ultra powerful at the end of the first one, and then you just immediately go back to absolute dog shit again, and you're just
Yeah, when you have to, I guess, because otherwise it would like they would have to like up the scale of the bad guys so much if that was
Yeah.
the case, like without the resetting. Like I understand that One thing that I didn't like though is the fact that you have this fucking owl who's like your best friend for like how long do you think is between the first and second game?
It's hard
I'm
to
gonna
tell, but
guess,
not
like-
long.
Like 2 days or something?
Because I mean, it's still a baby owl. It doesn't take long for owls to grow up. I
Yeah,
wouldn't
so but
think.
it's got all its feathers and stuff, so I'm guessing but I think it was born with all its fucking feathers.
yeah.
So I don't know. But the owls are still the fucking bad guy in this game, which is really funny.
Yes.
Yeah, because they are the reason everything bad happens in every fucking forest. We should just kill them all. We should kill this baby owl. That should be the first thing we should have done, and then nothing bad would have ever happened.
Save the turtles and fuck the owls.
Yeah. So the first part of this game, you are just in your OG home where you depleted all the fruit with fat fucking Naru.
Yes.
Because it's a fat fucking pig with the spider things with you now. That from the first game, if you guys remember the
Yeah, they're kind of
Can't
like
remember
the
their-
fingling, kind of like the weird circle guy with long tentacle. Like,
yeah, remember
legs
that
and
in the
arms.
first game, their species was like super advanced,
Yeah.
and they all died out once the orb was taken. So he's like the last one.
Yeah.
It's like the Goru or something like that.
I don't remember
exactly.
any
but-
of the made up names of any of the
Yeah,
characters.
yeah.
In this.
So he, Naru, you, and the owl, who I don't remember the name of. What was the owl's name? The owl have a name?
Fuck if I know.
Something with a P, I feel like. But anyway, the owl doesn't have part of its wing. And again, I don't quite remember why. Like, I think maybe the egg got damaged.
I think so. Something. to
And
that
so
effect.
one of its wings got all fucked up. And because of that, it can't fly.
Yeah.
And you still have the feather you got from the first game from the owl. And you tie
Yes.
it to its wing, and somehow that allows it to fly.
Yeah, because it pretty much fixes his wing with one feather. That's the
Doesn't
size
that
of his entire
eventually
wing.
won't that eventually like not work anymore because he won't have like he will be bigger than he was like
Yeah, I mean,
a prosthetic limb? They have to keep upgrading them as people grow. Like, what the fuck are they doing?
unless they try to pull a Heimlich from A Bug's Life and give that giant fat caterpillar these tiny baby wings, and he's still able to fly somehow.
I thought they were gonna do like the fucking How to Train Your Dragon where like some guy comes in, he's like, I got the perfect invention for you. Like,
Oh.
yeah. That's kind of what I thought it was gonna happen,
I
but
mean,
no.
that's fair.
So
Would work better.
you tie this fucking feather to its wing after having this like big montage. It's like the movie montage where it's like, I wish I know what I know now. That song.
Remember
that? So that song is basically playing over the top of this big video montage of them all getting along, but the owl being sad that it can't fly.
I can't think of that song without thinking of Without a Paddle. I had just
Yeah,
had to
right.
throw
That's
that in.
exactly. but that's what you get. Like literally, that is what's happening. Is there's like
Yes.
a little prequel part. You give the owl the feather, and you guys decide to go flying, and you fly way too fucking far, apparently,
Yep.
to like a different universe. Basically, I don't know how that works, but
Yeah, you know.
and you go to a different forest.
Yes, a darker
And I guess
forest.
Yeah, we find out that every forest has like a mother tree.
Yeah.
And every tree has an orb, and every orb like gives life to everything. But if it's gone, everything dies.
and starts becoming like insane
Decayed?
and like
Yeah, well, it like calcifies basically. Everything
Yeah.
turns to stone. Like it's very confusing.
yeah, and all
very
the
confusing
bigger
story.
monsters turn into like these bosses because they're gone insane and they're being controlled by this rage that they feel because everything's dead or something. Like it's weird.
Yeah, I was kind of mad about that in the story. I kind of wish they would have had it where they were actually just bad things.
Right?
I don't know why everything needs to have like a fucking like, oh, I'm not myself, even though I look terrifying. Like,
Every villain needs to be redeemed.
yep.
Honestly,
The only
that's
one
why
that
a
I'm-
lot of like the movies don't work. Like that's why I think Guardians of the Galaxy 3 works so well because the
Yeah.
High Evolutionary was just a pure villain.
Yeah.
And he didn't have any redeeming factors like every other villain has.
And you
recently.
like that. You like people being just a pure villain, whether their intentions are good or bad. Like
Mhm.
they're still a fucking dick.
Oh yeah.
Like you love that about them. That's the best part about the villains. But now we have this whole thing where it's like, well, not every villain is really a villain. You're like, oh, shut the fuck up. Come on.
no,
You can
need
do
them
that
to be villains.
50%.
Yeah.
50% I'll give you. But then after that, go fuck yourselves.
No, you gotta have a mix. You can't just have it always be one way. And it's honestly, that's why it's so different when you do see it nowadays, and everyone loves it so much because it's not.
Yeah.
It's still rare.
Yeah. Like I said, I just think it's stupid. I think it's like, it's a dumb thing. And in this game, they really do make it so it feels like you're just not even hurting anyone, even though you're fucking destroying them.
Yeah. Like
So
every time you kill them in a boss fight, it's just like, oh my god, thank you for helping me.
You freed me
You
by
freed my
beating the
mind."
shit out of me.
I'm not trying to kill you anymore.
Right? So you get into this forest, you lose the owl friend, you guys are separated, you have to
Yep.
find him. He's in the Silent Woods. The Silent Woods are, you have to go underwater to get to them, and just like the fucking first game, the water is
Poison,
evil.
evil,
Yeah.
darkness.
It's not really poison because it hurts you
Whatever it
on,
is, yeah.
on touch. I don't even know what to call that.
Acidic.
It's like acidic. Yeah, acidic would be the best way to describe it.
Yeah.
And you have to go get this old mill working that you don't know who built.
Yep.
Because in the first game, it was those spider things, but now you have no fucking clue who built this shit.
It's true.
So there's an old mill. If you get it working, you clean the water, and you do. And the old mill, there's no boss, I don't think, is there?
I don't think so. I think it's just more of the puzzle of getting through
Yeah.
to the thing and making sure everything can turn, going through all the different doors to get to all the different locations.
I will say, like, sometimes you did feel like this game was about to end, and then it just kept going. Like, Steven's
Yeah.
right. Like,
I'll get to
every
that
once in a
later.
while, like, you're like, wow, this should be exactly where the game ends. Like, where you find the owl, and then you're fucking like, oh, it's not over somehow.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that just keep happening in this game, and I'll tell you when I hit my dead wall if I don't know if I can keep going any further.
Yeah. So there's an overarching bad guy who's Shriek.
Yes. It's like this
Shriek is a
dead owl-ish. Like
no, it's not an owl.
Oh,
Like
a
it
raven.
looks more like a raven or a crow or something,
I think
kind
they
of.
did say it was like a raven, but it was wearing like an owl's head or something. I don't know. It was weird.
Yeah, it's like the skull of an owl on it, which was
Yeah.
fucking. Actually, I thought that was cool. I'm like, this is the sickest fucking bad
I mean,
guy
he
of all
did
time.
look cool as shit.
He actually was the good guy. He killed the main bad guy, who was the owl.
True.
So he's anyway, let's get back to the story. Sorry.
Yeah,
You have to
you're
clear
good.
this fucking waterway to clear the water to get into the Silent Woods, and that's where you find your owl friend.
Yes.
Your owl friend is, again, he's just kind of worthless. Like,
Yeah.
he can't really do anything to help you. Even, like, everything he can do, like, you can use him to glide and shit. Once you get your feather back, you can just do
Do
that.
that. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Honestly,
it's like,
any of the sections with the owl kind of just for like, I get what you're doing story wise with it, but it's really not that important.
yeah, I kind of wish they would have almost had it where you don't find the owl, you switch playing between the
I
owl
thought
and
you were going to
Orb.
play at the owl at some point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which made more sense in my book, because then you could be like hiding but having to change your hiding spot as the owl every once in a while. Like,
Which honestly, what you could have done to not have Ori start as a shitty character again is just don't have Ori come in until halfway into the game, because you start the first half as the owl trying to get back to Ori.
that would have been true. And then all your upgrades transfer to him because he's already knows all that shit.
Exactly. Like he
Yeah.
just is that lovely, so you just get to put all your traits and everything in
Or,
the
I
same
mean,
way.
they already introduce other spirits in the game all the fucking time through the stupid trees. So why don't they fucking just like
Yeah.
why don't you play as one of those other spirits in the trees? Like, I guess I don't understand why Ori is the only spirit alive at all times.
Well, and I wouldn't have minded him starting over if they explained that in the story, because a lot of times they
Yeah.
explain that. Like in Mass Effect, they explain it because you died, and then
Yeah.
now you're starting over as a a mech android of yourself or whatever it was.
it was
Clone
like
of
a
yourself.
mix between a clone and an android.
Yeah.
But your penis still works because you still have sex.
Oh, well, that's always good.
So just
You
yeah,
want to work.
they
the
did
penis.
they made sure to find your penis and make sure it's working.
That's good. That's good.
So yeah, you go find the fucking owl, and that's where you meet Shriek.
Mhm.
Shriek is like really fucking weird looking. I don't like, it's got like walking sticks
Yeah.
on its wings, like bones that grew out way too far or something, but I'm thinking that's the decay part of it.
Yeah. I don't
Yeah.
really know. It's really interesting looking and really cool design.
Yeah, and then you also meet a frog named Qualock.
Yes.
Qualock is like your guiding force for this first part of the game, and then eventually he dies, which I thought was awesome. That was the best part. No, honestly, like
It was
I
a good
love it
part.
when they have finality of characters, when there's
Yeah.
like when not everyone can be saved. That is a great fucking feeling in a game where you're like, I've got to work harder. Holy shit. I
Yeah.
didn't work hard enough to save him. Like that's an awesome motivation piece in a game. I love
For
that fucking
sure.
part of the game. So you find the owl. You have to now escape. So now's this part where you're like running from Shriek, basically.
Yep.
You have to leave the Silent Woods, which I'm confused to. Like, I guess I'm confused. Why didn't you just try to like put another feather on him and have him fly away?
I don't even know. I don't. I can't explain what they were doing. They needed more story. Okay, they needed more gameplay.
Yeah.
Just shh, 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 shh.
So you rescued the owl, and you have to like make it through the Silent Woods, even though you can just go backwards. You have to go through the other way for some reason, even though, like I said, you can just go backwards
Yep.
out the way you came. That
And
was, I mean, I guess technically it was guarded by Shriek, but at the same time, I guess, fuck 'em.
yeah, pretty much.
I will say the backgrounds of these games, it's beautiful.
Oh, this game is gorgeous, honestly.
Like the back, I love the foreground and the background always intermingling with each other.
Yes.
Like that is
100%.
fucking cool. Like that is not, you don't see that in a lot of games, but it's really fucking cool when it happens.
This game is visually stunning. Like we were talking recently about Art Escape being visually stunning, but this game also just has tons of fucking just beauty and color and just gorgeous.
For sure.
scenes.
And guys, seriously, you look at the background and like everything that's happening in the background will affect the foreground. Like it's fucking,
The
it's
lighting,
really
everything.
fucking cool. Yeah. You'll see a creature move in the background and then suddenly it's in front of you in the foreground. Like that is fucking cool. Like I don't know. That really got me every time. I'm like, oh yeah. Especially when you see Shriek's parents in the background, you're like, oh
Yeah.
no.
Yeah.
Oh no, I know what happened now. Oh no.
We got a Cubone story on our hands.
We got Cubone, people. We got Cubone.
But yeah, after this point in the story, we get the kind of the knowledge that we have to find 3 wisps that are scattered through different
Kind of
places.
So remember, don't forget the important part about this. You get separated again because Shriek finds you.
Oh yeah, sorry.
You go down below. The owl stays up above, and he kills the owl.
Pretty much, yeah.
He just kills the baby owl.
Well, he's barely hanging on.
No, he's dead. He's got to be. Like I don't quite understand why they did this. I think leaving him dead would have been such a smarter idea.
They have to give
'Cause
you
then-
hope because this is still kind of
But then
marketed towards children. a
You're
little.
on the road to vengeance.
True.
You suddenly become, what's that movie with the guy whose wife and daughter get killed and raped?
Punisher.
No,
Oh,
killed and raped.
Oh God. No, I know. This one.
80s. They remade it recently. God, what is it called? Death.
Is it
Death Wish?
Proof or Death Wish?
No, Death Wish. I think it's
Bruce
Death Wish,
Willis
yeah.
did it recently. Yeah.
Yeah. He remade it, but originally it was an 80s movie where you're like, and Jeff Goldblum's the guy who raped the daughter in the mall.
That's right.
It's like, and he's like a gangster greaser guy, and you're like, wow, he does not play that in any other movie, does he?
Yeah, Law Abiding Citizen is also another one where they do that with Gerard Butler.
Yeah, so that would have been cool if it suddenly became Death Wish, and you were like, I need fucking revenge.
I mean, without the rape, we don't need to rape the owl.
Well, maybe a little bit. Maybe like you got to really solidify this revenge story.
I
man.
mean, this is still marketed a little bit towards kids here. I know it's a
well, fuck those
harder
kids.
game,
This is
but-
this is gonna be great. All right. Anyway, continue now onto your Wisp story.
Yes, so you have to pick which location you want to go to. You get your option. This is kind of your open worldness where you don't have to follow the linear story anymore. And
Yeah.
You can either choose the Luma Pools, which is a water area, the Boar's Reach, which that was the
That's the snow.
winter area, yeah, with the bear. And then the Windswept Waste, which is like a desert area.
No, the Underdark.
Oh, that was the Underdark, sorry.
So I actually went to the desert area first, thinking that was the spot, but that's actually one of the last places you have to go.
Molewood Depths, that was the darker area with the spider.
The Underdark.
Which honestly is probably one of the hardest sections of the game.
Yeah, it does this whole thing where if you get in darkness for too long, you die.
And
But then
that's
eventually, when you beat the boss, it stops being dark. So
yeah, you get a power finally to have light. Which
no, like even after you beat the boss, though, you don't even need the power to light it up. It's just lighting. Yeah, I don't
I was
understand
gonna
that.
say
You should.
you had to make it to the bottom of that dungeon to get the light power though, which was
Yeah, it was kind of annoying. So yeah, and in this part, you already met Qualock. Qualock's the frog guy. He decides like, I've stayed still for too long. Your Alfred was killed because of my insubordination. I shall go find a wisp myself. And you have to go help him because he's been taken over by like I don't even know what the fuck was it.
it was like a vine monster thing.
Yeah, it's like a living vine where it like takes over his body and uses him to attack you.
Yeah.
And you have
really
to kill
interesting.
Qualock. And you don't even kill the bad guy pretty much. Like he kills it.
Yeah. Yeah.
You weaken it, like let go of him, but
Because he pretty much said he had to like give his life to take that creature's life away too. And he actually like throughout the entire fight before the fight, he ate the wisps so that the enemy couldn't get to it.
yeah. So he still had some semblance of normalcy, I guess.
Really good sacrifice yourself moment that actually had some weight to it.
Yeah, for sure. And it was a cool boss fight. You get to fight Qualock. In the Underdark, you get to fight the Spider Queen. You already have a Wisp with you. It's like the voice of the forest.
Yeah.
Which is just the same thing you had in the fucking last game. Like literally the same thing. In the last game, you used it to attack people. And this one, you get a cool fucking sword thing.
Yeah.
But you already have the voice. You go get the strength, which when they say strength, did you think it was going to increase your strength too?
Yes.
Because did you do the challenge where you had to increase your strength to one of the trees?
I think so.
Yeah, see, and that was a great idea for them. Like, so you get just more 25% more damage or 50% more damage or something. And I thought you'd get another 25 or 50% from doing the strength with, but instead it's like you get 1 heart, 1 mana. I'm like, what?
Okay. I guess my vitality got raised.
Right? It's like, why wouldn't you raise my strength if it's a fucking strength with? Fuck off. So then, yeah, you go to the snow place and you do fight a boss there, but I couldn't tell you what it is. Can't remember. That one was really forgettable for me.
But the fucking spider boss fight, that one is one of the hardest ones. That one's frustrating as fuck. That one's one of the only ones that actually has an achievement too, besides Shriek.
Yeah. What's the achievement? Just beat it?
Beat it without taking any damage.
Holy fuck, how?
That's what I said. I was like, what the fuck?
You have to be really fucking good at like pulling back, I guess. I'm not good at that. I just like throw my body. I'm like, I'll take damage, but you'll take damage.
Seriously though. So some of the other 4 hardest achievements in this game are beat the game with no power-ups, beat the game without spending any of the money or currency or whatever, and then beat the game in 4 hours.
4 hours I can see doing. If you already know how to do it, like sure.
Possibly, yeah.
You know, like it's like you play it a couple times and you probably know the exact amount of stuff to do and you can get it done in no time at all.
Yeah. That's true.
Like it took me, I think 11 hours on a blind playthrough, so
I think it took me 14.
Yeah, so I mean it's not too bad, right? You could probably cut that down to 4 if you really tried.
I guess that's true. On a second playthrough, knowing a little bit pathing, maybe on a third.
It's not as bad. One of the Resident Evil 4 achievements is beat the entire game in 4 hours.
Yep. I've been seeing that a lot lately. I'm like, holy shit, that's so fast.
But some guy beat it in like an hour and a half, so fuck that guy. All right, so yeah, you get all the wisps.
Yep.
You go to these 3 areas. You wake the bear up. I fucking suck, by the way. I had no idea how to wake that fucking bear.
Dude, I didn't either. I just randomly was like,
that's the only thing I had to look up in the game. I'm like, what do you find to wake him up? I'm so confused.
Fucking use your feather to make him sneeze.
I was like, that's so stupid. Because then the guy's like, I tried to use a stick to wake him up, but I need something heavier. And I'm like, you think a feather is heavier than a fucking stick? I guess it's bigger, but it's not heavier.
I tried launching
the bones are fucking hollow.
I tried launching myself at his nose. I tried doing all sorts of stupid shit.
Yeah, I just think it was a bad hint. I think they could have like, and I get it. Like the classic cartoon thing is you like touch someone's nose with a feather to like have them sneeze
or have them rub their face with.
It's been so long since I've seen that on fucking TV. I forgot completely about it. Until I actually did it, I'm like, fuck me.
Yep.
So yeah, that was stupid. That's the only part of the game I had to look up because I was so fucking confused on what to do.
Yeah, that was definitely frustrating for sure.
But anyway, yeah, you rescue everyone.
Oh, yeah, I want to say this is the point where I initially thought, okay, you've
Game over,
gathered
yeah.
all the wisp. You're going to get to the end of the game. You're going to get to one last segment. So I'm like, yes,
Yeah.
this is where. All right, well, I know where the door is. It's up in that desert area up at the top. Go to that door, turn in the wisp. Probably game over. You get one more like chase rundown scene with Shriek or whatever, and
Shriek.
then it goes to a cutscene that's like, the game's over.
Yeah, well, and you think that, but then you go in there and you have to fight like another boss who's a worm,
Yeah.
and you figure out. This is where I was like, no.
Yeah.
They're not gonna do it, are
They
they?
did.
No.
They did it.
I did not think this was gonna be the end like this. But
I didn't either.
like, so you find out that every time a tree dies, the forest dies, and trees inevitably die.
Yeah.
So, like, I guess I don't. If you know that happens, why the fuck wouldn't you have one of your children prepared to take the mantle?
I don't know.
Like,
Or if
that's
they
what
don't
it
have
seems
children.
like they're. No, they do. Remember, that's the thing. That's what Ori is. Ori is a child of
Oh,
it.
yeah.
Remember,
That's right.
like every single little tree, like we should have known that because the little trees are all former
Spirits, too.
Oris.
Yeah.
Yeah. So why didn't any of those trees grow up? Why didn't we put one of the fucking things in one of those trees? Like, I just don't understand. We had all these trees to do it with.
Because you have to be formed with it before you become a tree.
Must be, right? That's gotta be.
Probably.
But even still, like, what if you knew you were dying? Why wouldn't you be like, kid, quick, take it, take the power orb. This is how it happens. I know because it happened to me. I even said it in game. It happened to me, but somehow I forgot. I forgot until this moment. Ooh, like it was so fucking stupid.
Yep.
So you go into the fucking sand temple, and let's even try. This is where the game should have ended. I think so too. I think this part would have been a great ending.
Yeah, and you have to like repair you have to go and like take all these 8 different locations out in the tree itself after you.
Well, hold on. Let's get through the sand temple. So you
Yeah.
find out this whole story. So the tree inevitably dies. All the spirits die that was associated with the tree because the tree is dead.
Yeah.
The forest starts to decay. But then they're like, but we have heard rumor of one single spirit that will come and save the day. And you're like, oh, what fucking
Let me guess,
deer
it's
did you
me?
talk to? Yeah. And it's like you have to combine with it, but you don't learn that until you have to get to the tree. So now
Yeah.
you're able to come here and combine all the spirits. Like that's the whole point of coming here is just combining them.
Yes.
I don't understand why you just didn't do that before and go to the tree
I
and
don't
skip
know.
this whole sand temple.
Because you needed to see the holographic or the whatever the fuck.
The hieroglyphics.
Hieroglyphics. Yeah, not holographics. I know what I'm
Uh,
saying.
So you go to so now you know you have to go to the tree, and the tree is really far in the background.
Yes.
And so you have to go to the special spot that was locked up earlier near where Shriek was,
Yes.
where her dead parents are.
Yeah. Keep walking by that,
Yeah.
don't you?
Oh my god, that part made me cry, Steven. That part at the end with Shriek, I cried. I was
I
like, oh my god,
love
that is
seeing
so
Baby Shriek. Baby Shriek was the most adorable shit ever. I
It
want a
was.
plushie of
It
it.
was.
I really
Yeah.
want a plushie of that.
So, sorry. Before this, you learn of Shriek's background.
Yes.
Who did you fight to learn that? That was the snow. Oh, the bear. The bear told you.
Yeah. Yeah.
The bear tells you the story of Shriek's background, and it's that Shriek was born after the decay had already taken over,
Yep.
and the parents are like calcified above the nest, protecting the nest.
Yeah.
It's just so sad, and you're like, oh my god. And he hatches, and I think he's deformed because of the decay.
Probably.
So then he goes out into the light because he's in the darkness of the silent woods to find like help.
Yeah.
And it turns out like everyone's scared of him
Yep.
because he looks fucking weird because he's from the decay.
So
he
everyone
finds these-
ostracizes him.
Yep. So he finds these fucking owls, the fucking bad guys of the entire fucking world that apparently we should just extinguish all the fucking owls. And he meets baby owls that are his age and are like, hey, buddies, I'm just like you, only a little weird looking. Please don't judge me. And they don't. And then the adult owls come and they're like, coo, coo, get the fuck out of here, coo.
You don't look
And
like us. Get the fuck away.
Yeah, bitch, we'll fuck you up, motherfucker.
Don't make
We're
me go-
fucking elves, dude. We're basically kings. You're a fucking little bitch.
Don't make me Ric Flair up in this bitch.
It's literally that. Like, it was so stupid. So the owls drive him back into the darkness, and Shriek accepts the darkness.
Yep.
So that's why Shriek is a bad guy now. It's because of the fucking owls.
He's a good guy. Just was drawn to darkness by bullies. So he's
Yep.
okay.
So he's gonna be like shooting up a school tomorrow, I think. I think that's
God.
like
a little too close to home here.
a little. That's literally what it's going. Oh, that's what it feels like this game did. They were trying to show, like, don't fucking bully people, dude. This is what they turn into, fucking monsters.
I mean, fair.
Yes.
But, oh.
Yeah, so now you have to go to the tree, and Steven's right. You have to do these fucking stupid. I thought this was so dumb.
I hated
You have to
this.
like, yeah, you have to kill these vines in an area where like it's all basically jumping, and it just takes like an hour and a half to do this whole fucking sequence, which is the longest in the
This-
game that it takes.
This took me forever, and I got so pissed off, especially the fucking, like, portal fucking level in this game.
Yeah. Well, it's nice because you can see where the portals go.
Yes, but fuck. I
You had to
hate
do that-
platforming stuff as it is. Making me
I know.
in-air juggle shit through fucking 4 different portals. Fuck you,
Yeah.
with spikes everywhere.
So you have to destroy these 8 things that basically release vines that release the way of that you need to go because the vines are blocking the way.
Yeah,
Once you do that, you go to the tree
and you think it's gonna be the end.
and you think it's the end because you give the tree the fucking soul spirit thing you have. It's the same thing from the first game, the orb
Yep.
that got stolen by the owl, but instead of the orb, like it's like an incomplete orb. It's really tiny and kind of like pathetic.
Yeah.
Yeah, because this tree is dead. So you give the tree the orb and it comes back to life momentarily. It's like, I am old and you are young. Come here, little boy. And then you get really creeped out and you walk
Yep.
away a little bit and you say, okay, well, I'm going to go. You have fun with your orb, big old guy.
And then it throws
Please
a
put your dick
lasso
back in your
around
pants.
you and pulls you
And
in.
it's still, yep.
Little. by
But not,
little.
it takes you, it explains that when it was a spirit, it needed to take on the orb to become like a tree to give
Yeah.
the forest a guiding light. And now that you're here, you need to do the same thing that it did
Yep. So basically,
So-
sacrifice yourself.
for the greater good.
Yes.
Yeah, which I guess makes sense.
Yeah.
Someone has to do it, otherwise the entire forest will decay.
Yep. So
Like-
then it's like, hey, Ori.
Oh,
Take
and
the
but
orb.
right before this, Shriek attacks you and the orb kicks its ass.
Yeah. That was
The orb
fucking
like
sweet.
says, "Shut the fuck up, bitch!" and like hits it and it runs away. It's like, "Oh my god, I'm sorry," and it runs away. And you're like, "Yeah, take that, Shriek, you little bitch. I don't care how bad you were bullied. You're a
Yep.
bitch. Get out of here." And then it comes back and it kills the orb.
Yeah. It just snatches it from your hands, and you're like,
Oh, it
okay.
doesn't snatch it. Remember, it hits it.
Oh yeah. And it's just like, what the fuck? We just
what the fuck, Shriek?
we just took out this bird, and the bird was like so scared, and then it just comes back immediately and it just takes it out. Like,
Yeah.
will this game ever end? Why are we not at
Well,
an
and
end?
So what's funny is it also says like, "But Shriek could not give up the darkness." And you're like, "What? Okay."
Okay. So then you-
But oh, by the way, this is all Ori's fault.
yeah.
Remember when Shriek attacked and the orb thing hit it and then was about to fucking kill it?
Yep.
Yep. And Ori's like, "Wait, no, don't kill it. Bro, come on. You're not gonna kill this guy. He's cool."
Yeah.
Yeah, literally, you should have let the fucking thing kill it.
Because then the game would have been over. And it would have been
Yeah,
fine.
no last fight with fucking Shriek, which was one of the most annoying fights in the game, by the way.
Yeah.
Talk about fucking juggling.
Oh
Yeah.
god, yeah.
So Shriek comes in, kills the light. You have to fight him in like midair pretty much. You're on like a little platform for the first half of this fight, and then it's like raining down bullets on you. Like little
Yeah.
like
It's got 3 stages.
flaming
And
balls.
the first 2 stages are not bad. But then this
No.
last stage, fuck this last stage.
Yeah, this last stage is literally you have to stay up in the air and keep hitting it. So and it wasn't too bad, I should say. It's not like impossible. You could throw the balls at it too, and it does a little bit more damage than your hits do. It just
Yeah.
takes longer to do it.
It's just frustrating as fuck because you
Yeah.
can't touch like any of the clouds on the side or the bottom, so you're like in an enclosed space, and he's also when he flies and hits you, it does so much fucking damage.
Like
So you
half
can
your
only,
fucking health.
yeah, you could only survive 2 or 3 fucking hits from him, and you don't really,
Yeah, by
you
that
don't get a
point, you're
platform
already
to heal,
weak.
and there's no healing in this part, so you have to redo this boss fight if you fuck this up.
Yeah, so there's no checkpoint at the last part. You have to redo the entire fight. I did it. I
Yes.
died once during the fight, and that was that last part. I was able to do it the second time, so it
I
wasn't
think-
too bad for me.
I think it took me a few different tries. I definitely think the spider took me the most tries, but this one fucking aggravated me, and I was like, just
Yeah.
fucking end. I was literally
Jay,
screaming at the
fucking
TV for the game
go!
to fucking end, and Jen was laughing at me hysterically because she's like, Jesus.
This part did make me cry though. This is the part where I got so sad. I'm like, oh my god, Shriek, don't do that. Come on, have some dignity.
Yeah. It was
So you
sad.
beat Shriek after this shit fight, and Shriek just runs back to its parents who are like calcified and dead, and just crawls underneath them. And I'm
cuddles
like,
them.
oh my god, no, don't do that. You're the bad guy. Don't make me feel like that part was actually really fucking. You're like,
It is
oh my
sad.
god,
It is-
fuck you guys, go fuck yourselves, get out of here. Like it always makes me sad when animals are sad. Like that's just
That's
something that
true.
has always fucked me up. I'm like, oh no,
Yeah.
this animal wants its mom. I'm so sad about it. No.
You definitely have that pure animal heart for sure.
Yeah, like you're just like, man, this sucks. Oh god, I just beat up an orphan. Fuck me.
I was too angry at the game not ending to cry at this, but I
Oh,
did feel
God.
sad.
Yeah, I felt so sad about it. And then you are like hobbling because you got
Yep.
the shit beat out of you in this fight. You're like, ugh, god damn it.
Which
can't
I
wait till I
hated
become
this
a tree.
section.
Yeah, this was kind of annoying. I don't like these slow walking seconds. Just
No.
make it a fucking cutscene.
Yes, I don't
Make the whole
need
thing a
to
fucking cutscene.
hold forward while my guy's barely limping across the screen, and it takes
Yeah.
fucking forever.
You can't jump, you can't sprint, you can't do anything.
Just fucking show me a cutscene. I don't want to be in control of this. This is lame.
Yeah. So you go up and you take control of the light. You find it somehow, even though it's dead. It's just still alive, I guess. It didn't want to help during that fight, but whatever.
Yeah.
Fuck that light.
Yeah.
And you absorb it and you die.
Pretty much.
And you become
tree.
you become a seed, but you don't sprout until later on. And by the way, I'm not gonna lie, I forgot that Naru was in the game
Yes,
until this last part where they just show up.
yeah.
And you're like, oh fuck, they're here. Oh shit, no. Oh, guy, coming to rescue us. You took your fucking sweet ass time, didn't you?
And way to just have an ending where you just like, all right, let's just kill everybody.
I mean, that makes sense. It
I
takes a long
mean,
time for trees
yes,
to grow.
but I was just like, I wasn't expecting them to just be like, all right, every character's dead now.
Yeah, so they get back. They find that the owl is dead, their baby owl friend. And then it's right as Ori sacrifices itself. So then the owl comes back to life and they're really happy, but then they're really sad because Ori's gone.
Yep.
And they go to where Ori died and they're like, oh no, he's dead.
And they have an Hakuna Matata moment where they all age in front of this tree, and you just see
Well,
them
so
growing up.
They turned around first. They turned around to walk away, and then this tree sprouts as they turn around. You're like, go
That's
fuck
right.
yourself.
Yeah.
Go fuck yourself, Ori, being such a fucking drama queen. So then they come back and they're like, we're going to hang out here from now. This is our new home where Ori is. And
My
you're like,
Hakuna
that's really
Matata
weird.
moment of the game.
And you could tell they're aging too because the spider thing helps Naru up on the tree. Although Naru's
Yeah.
fucking fat anyway, so I don't
Definitely.
know if it could have gotten on the tree.
Probably not.
Yeah. So Naru like lays down on the tree and like probably dies at that
He goes to
moment.
sleep and then dies, and then the other thing.
You assume, like, you don't really know. It just does a big flash forward. So you're like, oh, okay, well, I guess he's dead.
I assume they're just speeding
Yeah.
through the rest of their life.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, I
it's
think
just
so,
showing a really
too.
accelerated rest of their
That's
life.
it's the same thought I had, but then I was like, well, maybe I should not assume it's dead. Let's see what happens. See what happens. But yeah, it's for sure dead. And then
Yeah.
you see the owl, a bigger owl flying over top.
Mhm.
And you're like, you're the only one of its kind. So once you die, you're all that's gone. All of you are gone. And finally, the world is safe from you monsters.
Yes.
And like you find out the narrator of this entire fucking game was Ori the entire fucking time, and you're like, oh fuck yourselves.
like, okay,
Fuck
why did you need this to be
fuck
your twist?
You.
Oh, I forgot that I was Ori. Oh my
I
god.
have been telling you the story of who I am. I
This is
killed
just
all the owls
amazing.
so they would stop taking the orbs. I did a very good thing for the world. Genocide can be a good thing. Just, but I
Oh,
did. To be fair, I did like this story 1,000 times better than I liked the
did.
first one.
I
I like,
agree. But it needed to end. I seriously, I got to a point where I literally was about to text you, be like, I don't think I'm gonna finish this fucking game. I'm so fucking aggravated that this game won't fucking end.
yeah, I had fun with it. Honestly, I felt like I almost didn't want it to end at that part. So it's like an opposite case here where I'm like, oh man, I'm having so much fun with the game. I'm actually kind of enjoying myself right now. I better not end it.
There's certain parts that I absolutely were enjoying, but like the last segments, like the last like finding all the three wisps, I really enjoyed. Like
Yeah.
I hated the first like probably 3 or 4 hours of this game, and then I really enjoyed it up until you found all three of the wisp and then did all
Yeah.
that stuff. And then after that, I just kept on getting more and more annoyed. I'm like, why is this just getting increasingly more difficult and more ridiculous and just won't end? And I'm like, just fucking end.
Yeah, and I will say, guys, again, it is a fucking slow crawl. It is like a really fucking slow crawl to get to a point where you're having fun in the game.
Yes.
I did feel that way, like, for the first 2 hours of this fucking game. I was like, God damn it, it's gonna be another shit fucking game.
Yeah.
But it did end up getting better eventually.
It did. And I have to give it that credit. Like, honestly, like, especially when you start getting all your powers and stuff, like we said, like, you really start getting into, like, what building your Ori the way you want to,
Yeah.
and fighting
Yeah.
the way you want to. And the RPG elements of this game are fantastic, and the movement of this game is fantastic.
Yeah. All right, well, that was the story, so let's move on.
Worth or not?
So
What do you think, Steven? No,
Ah.
what do you think?
That was good timing. So I think this game. I said the last one was Worf, so I kind of want to say this one's probably worth it. I think this game is just stunning in a lot of different ways. I think the gameplay is far better. I think if you're interested in either of these games, this one is the one to do it with. I think it just far exceeds the first one. And even though it doesn't end and it's super frustrating at times, I did thoroughly enjoy a good portion of this game enough to recommend it.
Yeah, I'm going to go Worth too. I will say, I think if you're... The problem is you need to play the first one to play this one. Otherwise, you lose some story aspects. If you're going to play the
You can
first
watch
one...
a recap.
yeah, don't fucking play any of the extra stuff. Just get through it as fast as you can, or just
True.
fucking skip it and play this one, because this one is the better of the two, and it's monstrously better. Guys, seriously, this is a Worth game for me, but the first one just almost makes it a gnaw. Because if you
Yeah.
have to play the first one to get here, I would say don't play it at all.
Honestly, because the stories are kind of separate and they do start completely over with your character. Like, you
Yeah.
could kind of just jump into this one. Like, you would
Honestly, just do it.
you would get more lore and stuff playing the first one or watching the first one, but honestly, you don't
I would watch
necessarily
it.
need it. I would watch it.
Yeah. Just watch the cutscenes for it and you'll be fine. Because honestly, the first one is such a shit game compared to this one. This one was so much better.
Yeah.
I like this one so much better than the first one. But yeah, I'm going to go Worth on this one only.
Fair.
So, thanks for watching, everyone.
Yeah.
And what's our next week game?
Next week's game is Sonic Adventures.
One of my personal favorites.
Yes.
So, yeah. So, we'll catch you on the next week, guys.
Bye.
Bye!
Love you.
No!
Turn on